Look around you. Almost everything you can see right now, your phone, your shoes, the screen you're watching this on, crossed an ocean to reach you. And it almost certainly did it inside the same object. A plain, rusty, metal box. It's so ordinary you've stopped noticing it. But this box might be the most important invention of the 20th century that nobody ever talks about. This is the story of how a steel rectangle quietly built the modern world. Our story doesn't start with a scientist or an engineer. It starts with a truck driver from North Carolina named Malcom McLean. Back in 1937, McLean drove a load of cotton bales to a port in New York. And then he waited. And waited. For days, he watched dockworkers haul cargo onto the ship piece by piece, sacks, barrels, crates, all loaded by hand. It was slow, expensive, and chaotic. McLean sat there thinking one simple thought: why don't they just lift my whole truck trailer onto the ship? That thought stuck with him for nearly 20 years. Here's the thing you have to understand about shipping before McLean. The expensive part of moving goods across the ocean wasn't the ocean. It was the loading. An army of dockworkers, called longshoremen, had to manually pack every single item into the ship's hold, fitting odd shapes together like a giant, exhausting puzzle. It could take weeks to load or unload a single ship. To put a number on it, in 1956, loading a medium-sized ship the old way cost about $5.83 per ton. Remember that number. By the 1950s, McLean had built one of the largest trucking companies in America. And then he did something that sounds insane. He sold it. He took the money and bet everything on his 20-year-old idea about boxes. He bought a shipping company, and he bought an old World War II oil tanker, a ship originally named the Potrero Hills. He had it fitted with a reinforced steel deck and rechristened it the Ideal X. He also worked with an engineer named Keith Tantlinger, who solved the real problem, designing a sturdy, stackable container with corner fittings that let a crane lock on and lift it in seconds. The box wasn't just a box. It was a system. On April 26, 1956, a crane loaded 58 metal containers onto the deck of the Ideal X in Newark, New Jersey. 5 days later, it sailed into Houston, Texas, where trucks were waiting to drive those exact same boxes straight to their destinations. No unpacking. No repacking. No army of longshoremen. Not everyone was thrilled. As McLean watched his ship sail, one longshoremen's union official reportedly looked at it and said he thought they ought to sink it. He understood exactly what was coming. This box was going to replace a lot of jobs. But here's why it was unstoppable. Remember that $5.83 per ton to load a ship the old way? Loading the Ideal X with containers cost less than 16 cents per ton. That's not an improvement. That's a different universe. McLean had cut the single biggest cost in global trade by over 97%. What happened next reshaped the entire planet. As the boxes got standardized, same size, same fittings, anywhere in the world, they could move seamlessly between ship, train, and truck. Suddenly it was cheap to make something on one side of the world and sell it on the other. This is the secret engine behind a word you hear all the time: globalization. The reason your phone is designed in California, made with parts from a dozen countries, and assembled in Asia, and still ends up affordable, is largely because of this box. Cheap shipping made the global supply chain possible. McLean's company, eventually called Sea Land, grew enormous. Today it's part of Maersk, one of the biggest shipping companies on Earth. And the box itself? Today, container ships carry tens of thousands of these at a time. They are everywhere and invisible at the same time, the closest thing we have to a physical building block of the modern economy. So the next time you order something online, or pick up your phone, remember, it probably owes its journey to a truck driver who got impatient at a dock in 1937, and the boring metal box he spent 20 years dreaming about. If you enjoyed the hidden story behind something you've never thought about, subscribe, because the world is full of these. Next time, we'll look at Nintendo. See you then.